John Leguizamo, who is unpalatable, unfortunately, he has been a whiner for a very long time. Since time began, John Leguizamo has been a whiner, and what he's whining about is the fact that he was cast as Luigi in the original Super Mario Brothers movie, and now they have decided to not cast a Latino as Luigi in the animated Super Mario Brothers movie, and he's mad and he's boycotting it.
Luigi's Italian.
Yep. Well,
this is Italian erasure.
My favorite part of this is like TMZ actually kind of low-key calls him out at the end here of this article.
Good.
So,
idiot stuff.
They said if he's pushing for if he's pushing for true, accurate casting, then his point of view doesn't make sense, seeing how he himself isn't of Italian descent.
Funny how that works, right? Like, it's because...
But Chris Pratt isn't either. But it ultimately doesn't matter.
No, but the thing is, the argument that Leguizamo's making is that or if I understand correctly, the argument is that they should have someone that is browner.
Yeah, I mean...
That's what I was saying. I was like, okay, you're claiming there's no Latino representation in the Mario movie, while Anya Taylor-Joy from Argentina is in the movie as one of the
full of white people.
Leading characters. Yet, she's not the representation you wanted. So I'm left to think that you're just talking about them not being brown enough.
Well, it's actually
weird.
It's a little more specific. They're not John Leguizamo enough.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, he claims that he's not bitter.
Yeah.
But, good luck convincing us of that. Now.
He uses the term disincluded.
Yeah. He said, do you want to show the video?
The clip from him.
Yeah,
here we go, guys.
He just so happened to be out and about the day that the movie released.
Are you going to be watching Super Mario Brothers?
No, I will not be watching Super
Oh my goodness.
So they could have included a Latin character, like I was groundbreaking, then they stopped the groundbreaking.
I know.
I was
They messed up the inclusion. They disincluded.
They disincluded.
You can't take that seriously.
You can't. Really can't.
The next point that he makes is like maybe valid.
So what do you?
I will give him credit for stopping and taking pictures with people, though. I do like it when they actually engage with the fans.
Say to people who might actually go out and support this, should you say, hey guys, if you stand for inclusion, maybe
Just
you
catch
shouldn't.
some Latin folk. Catch some Latin folks.
So what she's saying is that you shouldn't go see this movie because it doesn't involve inclusion.
It's exactly, and inclusion just means who I want to be in there.
The next thing he said is we're 20% of the population, largest people of color group, and we're underrepresented. You're underrepresented in Hollywood.
They're European. They're descendant of Europeans. You're white.
They are underrepreprered in Hollywood.
If you look at the numbers.
But also, what percentage are they of Italian plumbers?
Yeah.
Yeah. What percentage of Italian plumbers is made up of
Hispanic?
Latin?
I want to know.
Latin
I want to
actors.
know. Look, and just remember, when they talk about inclusion, it only goes one way.
I was groundbreaking, and then they stopped the groundbreaking.
They fixed the ground. They stopped breaking the ground.
As Jordan Peterson said, the smallest minority on Earth is John Leguizamo. Minority of one.
He's right.
Then he started crying.
He's absolutely right. And he probably made his bed this morning.
The smallest minority on Earth is John Leguizamo.
Look, this is one of those things where I point out, like, if they were actually allowing people to be artists, and somebody wants to make a movie about just, like, people go watch Blackish or any of these shows, they're allowed to just make shows about one group of people. That's not a problem. You shouldn't be forced, nor should any race, gender, creed, or color be coerced into making a story they don't want to make.
From Gabby Hayes that says, been playing Miles Morales Spider-Man, great game, great character, been a fan of his for years. He poses in front of a BLM mural in the game, and all I thought was, how many kids think this is a good thing?
There was also, if I remember, not in the Miles Morales one, but I think in the Spider-Man 4, like in the most recent Spider-Man game, like there was a lot of pushback about him like working with the cops because it was like right after. They're like, don't do that.
It's ridiculous, and now the crime is up all over the country, and it's like people are still like, oh, it's bad when you talk to police officers. It's like, okay, well, you have more murder.
I love
Idiots.
television police propaganda. It's my favorite genre of television. Television military propaganda where they're all like super good people. Look, I'm one of those people. I'm like, look, I understand that what they do is like one of the hardest jobs in the world, and that there's also good and bad in any profession. And I just refuse to paint a whole profession or group of people with the broad brush, right? But I also find it hilarious that Hollywood can be simultaneously defund the police while making tons of money off of cop shows.
Oh.
It actually makes me laugh because it's one of the most, if you got old people. And old people have TVs. You just make shows about cops and doctors, and they will make money as long as it's not stupid.
I mean, I don't want to aggrandize doctors in our culture
then you
either
get into
anymore.
you get into the weird place we are now, right? Where everyone's like, I have to trust the science.
Boomers have ruined
And then
everything
everyone who's
good.
watched Grey's Anatomy thinks that they have an MD. And
Yeah. Well, look, I am the boomer demographic when it comes to television. Not anymore because nothing's been ruined more than network television. But I am the boomer demographic when it comes to TV. I love original Law and Order, like those first 10 seasons of Law and Order.
We've got a super chat from Luke E. It says, question for Mary. Communion in the hand or kneeling, also trad revival when? What should traditional Catholics do in the culture war? I personally feel like the more I disengage from it and just read a book, the saner I feel.
Catholics should definitely pray the rosary.
Why do you say that?
Because that's what Catholics do.
Well, yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah. It's never the wrong answer to pray the rosary if you're a Catholic.
I get communion kneeling. Trad revival maybe
Not
gonna
gonna
happen and maybe
no,
not in our
no.
lifetimes.
We've commodified the trad revival. It's now a title that we give to people on the internet.
Yeah.
For people who are like,
Well, he's referring to something a lot different. He's talking about the traditional mass.
Now when I think of trad revival, I just think of a girl who's like, I'm okay with my husband working and me not working. And
Not
that's
even
trad.
her husband. It's her live-in boyfriend. Who like lives
Trad
off
revival.
of her TikTok creator.
I don't want to work.
Trad revival. I have a husband, and that's it. I don't have a boyfriend.
What should traditional Catholics do in the culture war is a huge question.
I actually agree with the last part of his statement.
I would say like maybe don't disengage from it.
No, I say, dude, for your own mental health,
depending on the person, but
you're the minority of one. You only have to rely on
you're
yourself.
not a traditional Catholic, Brett. I am saying this like because
Fair
he's
enough.
asking me, and I don't think you could say disengaging from the culture will change the culture. It's not. That's not going to work.
So what should he do?
I mean, I don't have a specific prescription for an individual.
I
but
do.
I don't think that disengaging from the culture and not paying attention to what's going on is going to help anything.
Fair enough. Bill, what's the answer?
I already told you, pray the rosary.
There you go.
Good idea.
There you go.
Catholics are not going to argue. They're not going to say Phil's wrong. They're not going to say that's bad. They're going to be like,
Phil's not wrong.
I
But
mean,
would John Leguizamo pray the rosary before going to?
But you'd have to
see
do it in
Super Mario?
Spanish.
You have to, yes. You have
Another
While eating
bizarre
lasagna.
story, I think we covered this at the time, was that John Leguizamo was very pressed that they cast James Franco to play Fidel Castro. Really, they should have cast Justin Trudeau.
of course.
But that would have hit too close to home. I thought actually though that James Franco like proved his Latino heritage
Yes.
somehow.
Yeah, he did.
He is
to a certain percentage or something like that.
some percentage, yeah, and I guess that percentage wasn't high enough for John Leguizamo's standards. I guess he's just the one that decides these things now. He decides what race you belong to.
Also, I think John Leguizamo uses Latinx, and I imagine a lot.
Well,
of
in
people don't
this
take
he
it.
said Latino,
Okay.
but he said, how is this still going on? How is Hollywood excluding us but stealing our narratives as well? No more appropriation, Hollywood and streamers. Boycott. This is effed up. Plus a seriously difficult story to tell without aggrandizement, which would be wrong. I don't have a problem with Franco, but he ain't Latino.
You know what he needs to do? He needs to do what all of the black actors are doing, which is starting their own studios and making their own entertainment now. They're doing the smart thing.
That would require him to do something instead of complaining.
Yes,
So
like
that's
he
not gonna
needs to
happen.
do like what a Donald Glover is doing, or a Tyler Perry, or a Key and Peele. Like he needs to do what a Jordan Peele has done, and just invest in the productions of it, so you can tell the stories you want to tell and not rely.
That's very time consuming, and he has a lot of things to complain about.
Yeah.
You guys say Super Mario Brothers.
He has a lot of pictures to take with fans, so
I appreciate I appreciate them when they stop and actually take pictures with the people and don't just ignore them and stuff like that. But he's like, I want to get rid of these plebs, but now I can.
Do you think this wasn't a scheduled appearance though, and they didn't call the paparazzi so that he could get his comment in the day that the movie releases? Like, I think that's
maybe
kind of sussy.
TMZ is very good about being on the ball and having people out there. I mean, all those are freelance for people that work for them that are out and about.
Really?
If he's staying at a big hotel, they camp out at all the big hotels because they know that's where the actors come from. Mm-hmm. So you never know. You never know. Also, the real question here is, why didn't they just make a sequel? Then they could have kept John Leguizamo, except I think the original actor who played Mario might have passed away, but I'd have to double check.
Leguizamo was massively overestimating the enthusiasm that existed for the original.
Yeah.
Massively. I think we can safely assume the animated version is going to outpace it by a lot.
Yeah, it's got like a 250. They're predicting 250 million this weekend.
Not even close to a flop. Sorry,
Nope.
Fandom Wire.
No boycotts going because kids are like, why would I boycott it? It's got Mario and
That's
Peach.
a multi-generational thing.
Yep, Mario.
Easily.
And like Nintendo in a lot of ways is extremely multi-generational.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone can get behind, like everyone has their own, like mine goes all the way back to original Nintendo, to playing Blades of Steel and Castlevania.
So really, why didn't they get a Japanese actor?
That's a fair question, Mary. Why didn't they do that?
He was created by Japanese people.
Did you ever
so.
see the when Nintendo posted on like at the start of Pride Month one year, they put like Mario and Luigi and it says like Happy Pride Month.
No.
And they're like, dude, they're brothers.
Oh,
what
no.
are you posting? What are you doing?
No. Did they delete it?
I don't know if they deleted it. I have no idea. But I still remember that. It was gross. All right. Cool. Also, do you think Leguizamo will get more of the roles he wants? Because now we've had this discussion multiple times where some actors are saying they want to be able to play bad guys, not Aziz Ansari. Camille Nanjiani says, I want to be able to play bad guys, but they won't cast me as a bad guy because I'm not white. And John Leguizamo says they only cast me as bad guys.
Conflicting narratives?
Conflicting narratives right there. What do you do?
Huh, what does that mean?
Like, maybe it's because you should always just cast the best person for the job as the bad guy or the good guy.
After playing the villain roles, and you say you hate only doing villain roles, just stop taking them. I don't know. And then in The Menu, he played an obnoxious, narcissistic celebrity, and that's exactly what he is in real life. So is he really that great of an actor?
They didn't even actually hire him. He just showed up one day and they just put the camera on him, and that's what happened. Like, look, I don't want to watch, outside of Blade, I don't want to watch Wesley Snipes as a good guy. I want to see Wesley Snipes as the bad guy, like in Demolition Man.
Exactamundo.
Like some people are just built to play villains. That's their job.
Do you think that white people are better at playing villains?
Well, because most of the people they hire to play, like most of the bad guy roles now are of evil businessmen. So that's just a stereotype.
And also, I mean, like, really, like, do you want to risk, like, having some blogger get mad that you cast the wrong color and the wrong thing? It's like, if you cast a white guy as the bad guy, it's safe. You don't have to worry about making anyone mad about anything. You don't have to worry about anybody writing up. If you want to go ahead and get someone to cover your movie, sure, you can. But it is like it is clear sailing to cast a white guy as the bad guy. You'll have no pushback from any groups, which,
Especially if it's Bill Skarsgård.
And oddly enough, it ends up benefiting them because they get the best roles, because everyone wants to play the villain. Nobody wants to be the hero. Every actor wants to be because he hasn't gotten to do it yet. But all of the rest of the actors will tell you the best roles, the most fun roles are to play the bad guy. That's where the real fun is. So it is what it is. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.